Hello, everybody. How we doing? How's everyone doing? Let's see, is the stream set up? I'm always so awkward at starting the stream. Yeah, let's do it like this. We have our spoiler zone, potential spoilers for some things. I don't have a list of things to talk about, just like normal, but how's everyone doing? It's a Thursday. I like doing these on Friday, I think, but we were working tomorrow, so we're going to. It's been a crazy week, I think, as far as news and stuff goes. But how's everyone doing? Chosen Vader, hi there. How's everyone doing on this Thursday evening? Greetings, hello. How are we doing? I had a blast last week. And I was so excited to kind of do this again and chat with you guys once again. But how is everyone doing? We'll wait a couple minutes before we really dive in. Again, just like last week, any comments, any questions, any discussions you guys want to have. I have a feeling what a couple of these was going to be. I put it what I thought maybe a couple of the discussions would be up in our spoiler zone section up in here. But, we will wait a couple minutes, see how many people pop in and say hi. How we doing, man? There we go. That's one of the topics I figured we'd talk about. Stargirl 3x12 was amazing, especially the plot twist. I don't know if it was just because it was one of the last episodes ever. I loved, every second of this episode. It might be one of my favorites from the whole show. It might just be. Stargirl does that though. It's sometimes it's kind of slow towards the beginning, but when it hits, man, you're like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Fantastic. I'll wait a couple minutes to really talk about spoilers because I assume we're going to want to talk about spoilers within this episode. Also, I have music going. The StreamYard music they have set up, but last week it was a little bit too loud, I think. So if it is too loud for anyone, just let me know. But I 100% agree. I think Stargirl this week it blew me out of the park. I think it just it's used. Stargirl does such a good job at just using the time it has to its advantage. It takes every episode of the entire season to build up to one final moment. And when the twist happens, you're like, oh my gosh, this was the greatest thing I've ever seen. The greatest thing I've ever seen. Stargirl Season 3 was very weak, but there's some strong moments. I disagree. I personally disagree. But you're all right to your opinion. I definitely think it's better than Season 2. I don't think it'll beat Season 1, because I think Season 1 was just the perfect comic book season ever. I won't say but I think it was just perfect, I think honestly, I would say this for Stargirl. I think that middle ground for Stargirl does always drag. It's that episode 6, 7, 8 kind of mark usually. That I think it, maybe 9 that kind of drags along a little bit. But once you hit the 10, 11, 12, 13, you kind of just forget about it, How's everyone else feel? I feel like I've heard some people say they haven't been a fan of this season. I wonder why that is. I think I have a couple of criticisms. I think my biggest criticism, and now I kind of get it, is and I don't think this is entirely on the show's fault, right? But I do wish that the final season of Stargirl had more Stargirl. I wish there was more Courtney going out and being that hero, but I don't know if it works as well with last night's twist, right? You need Starman to have taken over, and I almost feel like that's more of a slap in the face, right? I think you almost need Starman to have taken this thing from Courtney for tomorrow or for next week's episode to really hit home. If he was in the Starman suit 2 episodes, I don't know if it would have hit. But I've loved season 3. Again, I think there's some complaints, but I don't think Stargirl season 1 was amazing. Stargirl season 2 was good. Stargirl 3 is really interesting. I think they've all been amazing. I think, again, I just think it's that middle ground. A lot of the big complaints I've heard was that they thought stuff should have been revealed sooner, but then I think that really takes away from the murder mystery aspect that they're going for. I think it takes away from that element of the show. And I like that. I like that each season feels like its own drama. Like its own, I'm sorry, not drama, genre, you know? I like that season 1 was action. I like season 2 was horror. I like season 3 was murder mystery. I wonder what season 4 would have been. Because one of my favorite elements of last season, this episode, was how we were kind of building up this idea that like we can like recruit all these new heroes. We can recruit Spectre and Atom Smasher and all these ideas, and I think that would have been a core element of season 4. I think because even Beck Bassinger said that season 4 would have been insane, and I believe that. I full-heartedly believe that. So it's a darn shame. It's a darn shame, and I wonder of how much of that is we would have seen. I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. What up, party people? Hello, Flash Freak. How we doing? The main problem is that they're not focusing on the main storyline, but then we got I would say that they are focusing on the main storyline. It's just there's a lot of storyline that they need to cover. So, what do you count as the main storyline? Because I would say at the moment, it is the villains and it is Sylvester and stuff like that. I would say one of my issues is that there's less focus on our main characters. I think that's the criticism that I would have. I think that there's been a lot less of Courtney, and I think Courtney makes sense with, again, what we've seen, but there's been a lot less Beth and Yolanda and Rick, and that's kind of where, again, I don't think it's necessarily their fault. I think if there was more seasons, this wouldn't be an issue for me, but it is. Like, this is literally the last time we are seeing these characters, so it is a little frustrating. I enjoyed all the seasons of Stargirl. Same. I think it's been amazing. I'm thinking for next week's stream, if we do a stream next week, I think I want to, and I should say, Chosen, I'm not trying to like belittle your opinion, I'm just kind of bouncing off my opinion. I always get very nervous about that, like when I like rebuttal a comment, I'm like, oh, I hope they don't think I'm trashing their opinion. No, I 100% respect your opinion on this, I just don't necessarily agree. But I'm thinking about, if we do a stream next week, I'm thinking about making it very Stargirl centered, just talking about the whole show, how it all wrapped up, their thoughts on the season, stuff like that. Maybe I'll bring on, see if a couple guests can join me. We'll see. But I enjoyed last night's episode. I don't want to... Final spoiler warning. Spoiler zone up here. Do we think that the big spoiler death... Do we think that the death in the episode was permanent? Like, do we think that character is dead? Because I don't think he is, but we'll see. We'll see. Stargirl gets dark, but is it that dark? Let's see. Oh, really? The season's focusing on Courtney and Cameron's love story instead of the murder mystery. We didn't spend that much time on it, though, did we? I mean, there was a couple episodes dedicated to it, for sure. But I would still say that's part of the murder mystery. Because Cameron's father was the killer. So I would argue that's still the main story. I could get if you didn't like that, though. That's fair. That's very fair. I don't... I think it kind of had to have it in there a little bit, though. I think so, personally. But, you know, could there maybe have been less of it? Maybe. I don't think there's that much of it, though. A couple episodes, I suppose. I think more of it was like a will they, won't they thing. I would honestly say last season kind of frustrated me more, because it's like, oh, We're still not doing anything with the story at all. And I will say, like, Cameron, I had said for a while that I thought Cameron should have been the final main villain. I said you should start with Icicle in season 1 and end with Cameron. But I'm really glad they did the Cameron stuff this season instead, because of everything we've known. So here's my question: if next season would have happened, would Cameron be on the JSA? You think? I think they probably would have been building up that story. Maybe. I think next season we would have had like a huge team of JSA members. I just wish wish Yolanda, Beth, and Rick got a little bit more focus and storyline. That's my main gripe of the season. I agree. I think that's my biggest thing. Before, I said that I thought Sylvester was getting too much stuff, but after what we've seen in last night, I think... what was I going to say? I'm losing my train of thought today. But I agree. I think after everything... I think we all have different... on what they focused on season 3. I agree. I'm not trying to bash anybody's opinion. I agree. I think it was done very well. And I think that Stargirl is a show where, like, I do think it would honestly be a better binge, because I think it works very well when you have the whole story in front of you. I think, like, individual episodes will come out, and I'll be like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. And next episode, I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense. Listen, I don't think this is the worst series finale. We haven't seen the series finale. I mean, final season? I still think Supergirl had the worst. If you talk about final season, I agree. And again, man, I'm not trying to bash down your opinion or anything. I think that's a very valid opinion. I just don't necessarily agree. What up, Triple X? How's it going? How's everyone doing today? Talking about Stargirl. I didn't see any responses, so I'll ask again. Do we think that the final kind of ending, like the big cliffhanger of the episode, the death that we kind of had, do we think that's permanent? Do we think that is like that they for real did that? Or do we think they'll be like, surprise, it's not it? Yeah, I meant to say final season. Okay. That's fair. I think... Oh, where's final season? I would agree. I was not a fan of Supergirl season 6. That's my least favorite season of Supergirl. I like the season finale of Supergirl. The series finale. I actually really love that a lot. But it was the back half of it. Like, all the wedding stuff, how they ultimately ended it, I really love. The first half, the villain... Oh, I did not like the Supergirl season 6 villain. I did not. I like the twist and turns of the season, but I think season 2 had a better main villain story and villain. That's hard, because this season hasn't been like one villain per se. I might agree. I might. Yeah, I mean, a lot of our main villains are villains we've seen before. Like, 2 of the villains of this season is season 1 villains. So... Eclipso was a really good villain. I don't know the answer to that. I think they're all kind of the same to me. But Eclipso was a really good villain. I'm doing good. I'm really glad to see it or hear it. Yes, I think it's permanent. I don't... Do we think it's permanent? I don't know. Maybe. I don't think that they would do it. I don't think they have... I would respect the show forever if it's permanent. That's really ballsy. I don't know if we kill Pat almost... Not off screen, but like... away from all the characters without them getting a proper goodbye with Pat. We'll see. I think he'll somehow survive. Actually, if he survived... How? I cannot think of a logical reason or a logical way he could survive that. The only thought I have in my mind, if somehow like the staff like brings him back to life, similarly to how they said Sylvester like survived, like he uses the staff energy to revive him or something. But that's the only way I could think of. Haven't watched the season yet. We talking about season? We talk about Stargirl. We talk about Supergirl. I am not sure, but I hope they do not make a certain beloved character die. I will be at least mindfully outraged. I cannot deal with another one of my favorite characters dying. Those, like, between the character we're talking about, and this is spoiler zone, so we can technically talk spoilers, but kind of avoiding some stuff. If that character dies, or him along with the Pembertons, I cannot deal with another character death. I don't think I can. I 100% agree. Ultraman was disappointing. He barely had any screen time. The thing with I said Ultraman. I'm sorry. Ultra Humanite. It's hard to have the like big gorilla body on screen for a lot of the time. And I get that's technically wasn't Ultra Humanite this season, but they had to wait to do the twist until the finale. I honestly, I can't see another way around it than what they've done. Like, I want more of them too, but I cannot think of another way that they could have done it. I don't know. Maybe one more episode, but like everything kind of feels finalized within this final one. Like, there's a lot they have to do. If there's one thing I'm worried about them not finishing up next week, it's Rick's stuff. And maybe Grundy. I don't think we're finishing up the Grundy stuff next week. Sorry. I don't think so. I think if we're going to kill... I feel like it should be more epic. That's what I was thinking. I think if you kill a character as big as Pat, you, like, do, like, an ultimate sacrifice next episode or, you know, whatever. And, like, Season 3... I don't know. But no spoilers. Let me kind of catch up on chat real quick. Is a difficult thing because I want to see more Ultra Humanite, but the plot demands that he stay hidden until now. Yeah, I mean that's the thing with like a murder mystery. Like you don't have like you don't have half the movie where you just know who your murderer is. There's always a way for survive to happen in these things. While I would respect the choice, I'd be sad too. I'd be so depressed. I was in shock last night when that scene was happening, but it was like I couldn't get sad because I'm like, no, he's not dead. He's not dead. Obviously, technically, Ultra Humanite had mega screen time. That is true. He's been here since episode 1. That's true. Did you see the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer? I absolutely did, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I loved it. I am not emotionally ready for Guardians 3. I am not emotionally ready. I don't think anybody is. Like, I think we all kind of know who's going to die or what's going to happen. But I don't think any of us are ready. But thoughts on the Guardians 3 trailer, everyone? Wow, so Stargirl can't do their CGI monster right, but Flash can? Has Flash really done a huge CGI monster, though? Like, that's the reason we can't do, like, Gorilla Grodd for, like, a main villain, right? Like, we'd love it. We would love if I would love if, like, Grodd could have, like, a good 8-episode arc or something. I think that'd be incredible. That'd be awesome. I just think it could be a lot. So, I think you can only... Like, same with, like, Grundy and Stripe, like, you have to limit how much you can use those certain characters on screen. So that's why we've only had, like, 3 episodes of Ultra Humanite or, you know, like, the big gorilla suits. Yeah, blood work, but, like, he was only the CGI monster for, like, 5 minutes. Like, he wasn't walking around as the big monster the whole time. Which is exactly why they had Ultra Humanite switch into a human body. Sorry, I lost where I was in chat. I will say this Stargirl murder mystery is way better than Deathstorm arc. Yeah, Dexter Mark was okay. It was fine. I wasn't a huge fan. I liked it a lot in concept. I loved the concept of Deathstorm. I don't think it was executed the way I wanted it to, though. I would say I would say it's like middle tier Flash. I feel like there is quite a bit of plot points to wrap up, and the show as a whole is only an episode. Yeah, and we also have to think, guys, like this was not supposed to be the series finale. This is supposed to be season finale. So there's a lot I can personally forgive for next week. Like it wasn't their fault. I do think they're going to wrap it up in a way that feels satisfying, though. It seems like there were two endings that they made, so we'll see. Like if we don't do anything with Grundy or whatever, I'm not going to be like, screw the show. They didn't wrap this up before final season. Like, that's not their fault. I'm not going to blame them for that. So, are we going to forget Despero? Yeah, but again, Despero wasn't in like 8-9 episodes or whatever. It was a 5-episode arc, and he was in like 3 of them. Like, I don't think they could have done Despero for like a whole 8-9 episode arc or something. I'm not saying he wasn't the main villain. I'm just saying, like, we haven't drastically been able to do a lot with like CGI monsters as like a reoccurring thing. It's usually 2, 3, 4 episodes at the most. I'm not trying to defend anything. I'm just saying that's probably why we couldn't see more of the gorilla body. Let's see. If you haven't seen the film starring Luke Wilson from 2006, I very, very highly recommend it. It's very silly, but worth the watch. Maybe I will. Honestly, I have not seen Luke in anything else but Stargirl. I've not seen him in anything else, so maybe I'll check out more of his stuff, because he's been a treat. He's been such a blast. He's been such a blast to work with. Going back to the Guardians trailer, and we can still talk about Stargirl. I would like to hear everyone's thoughts. How are we feeling about this movie? Are we really excited for Guardians 3? Are we depressed about Guardians 3? I'm a bit of both. Like, I'm so excited for this film. Probably one of my most anticipated for next year, but also not emotionally ready to say goodbye, I think. I would like to hear what everyone's predictions are for the deaths, because we know they're not all making it out of the movie alive. I think there's a couple that we can single out and be like, okay, these are some who are dying. This is who's making out, who's not. I don't know. I'd be curious. I don't care what everyone says about them. I love the Transformer films, all 5 of them, and I can't wait to watch Beast Wars. Yes, new Transformers trailer came out today. I watched it. Like, I have been a fan of the franchise for forever, but I have not successfully watched a single piece of Transformers content in my life. Never. It's weird, because my dad was a massive fan growing up. He was a massive fan of Transformers, Ninja Turtles, and Power Rangers. He convinced me on Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. I've still never seen a piece of Transformers content, but I think I want to binge those movies before the new one comes out. I think I'm just going to binge it. I'll binge them like the month before or like whatever, and I think I'll go see this new one, because it looks fun. Like, this franchise looks like a lot of fun. I feel like Rocket is going to die. Yeah, I don't see a way of... There's no way Rocket's making it out of this movie. Like, I don't think we're ever seeing Rocket again. If he dies, I have a theory. I have a theory that instead of dying, he like loses his intelligence, right? Like, I think he like loses the ability to speak and have these like interactions with these characters. He basically just becomes like a regular raccoon. So it's like, yeah, he didn't technically die, but he kind of did. Like, the Rocket we knew is gone in a way. I think that'd be an interesting twist compared to just like, oh, it's a character death, And then I I don't. Drax is a wild card, but I don't think Drax is making it out either. I think Drax might sacrifice himself. And then I think we might have a couple like characters like retire or whatever. Like maybe Nebula retires. Maybe retires seems like the weird word to, but like maybe she just like settles down on Earth or something, or just goes off on her own or something. I don't know. Transformers, they are way more than meets the eye. I feel like I will not be able to appreciate the Transformers movies as much as I should, right? Like, I have no history with any of the animated shows. Are there comics? Are there Transformer comics? That feels like a dumb question. That feels like a really dumb question. Are there Transformer comics? I bet there is. But I feel like just watching the movies, I'm not going to get the love that everyone else has for it. That, like, nostalgia. And I think that's really is the issue with, like, because I didn't grow up on a lot of franchises, right? Like, a lot of the things I love now, I am, like, trying to catch up with everybody else. And I'll never have the love for Transformers as someone who maybe grew up with it. Like, I love Power Rangers, but would I love Power Rangers now? Like, if I just watched Mighty Morphin now, would I like it as much as I do? Probably not. If I just watched the 2017 Power Rangers movie, would I love it? Probably not. That's an issue. You know, I wish I could have grown up on one of these franchises that everyone loves. I saw the Guardians Holiday Special, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was perfect. One of my favorite things of Phase... It's not technically Phase 4, but, like, the last couple years of Marvel. You know? I loved it a lot. I was actually impressed how much I liked it. Why was I surprised? Has James Gunn really let us down? Guardians 1 was amazing. It was phenomenal. I didn't love Guardians 2 as much, but it's still just a really good movie. Peacemaker was great. Suicide Squad was great. Why did I think this would let me down? I don't know. I won't do it again, James Gunn. I won't do it again. Bumblebee is the only Transformer movie that I didn't necessarily like. Bumblebee was the only one you didn't like? That's the one most people love, right? I thought I read that wrong at first. Bumblebee is the only Transformer movie that I didn't necessarily... Oh. Okay. Well. Maybe I'll have to watch it for myself. That's the one I'm most excited to watch. Because I've never seen a piece of Transformer content, but I know that Bumblebee's the coolest. I just know he is. He's so cool. Let's see. I grew up in the 90s, so I used to play with those robots in Discuss. Fun stuff. Yeah. I had some Transformer toys, I think. But I had a lot of hand-me-down toys. Like, I would play with just franchise toys that I didn't know who they were. You know? I had a whole bunch of Star Wars toys. Did I watch Star Wars growing up? No. I had G.I. Joe toys. Did I ever watch G.I. Joe? No. I'm going to watch Violent Night this weekend, and the actor who plays Hopper in Stranger Things will be in it. He absolutely is. That movie looks so much fun. Anyone else going this weekend? I'm not going this weekend. I work probably the rest of the weekend, but I'll probably see it next weekend, probably. Or throughout the week. I'll see it sometime. It looks fun. Looks like just such a fun movie. It's Die Hard with Santa Claus, basically. Yeah, I was surprised how good the Guardians Christmas special was, but should have been, as you said, Gunn is good. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. But should not have been, as you said, Gunn is good. Yeah, I'm sorry, I completely read that wrong. For me, like, again, I wasn't a big fan of Volume 2, and I don't even remember why. Like, I don't even remember the movie, so I can't even say that anymore. But I am so excited for DC under his watch. Like, he's going to kill that, I think. Will there be some misses? Probably, but, like, Kevin Feige's had some misses, too, you know? Any head of any studio has had misses. I think Gunn and Peter are perfect for DC. Yes, true. I don't know what that's referring to, but I thank you for agreeing with me. 80s, not 90s. I'm not... Okay, I was wondering. I was like, oh, okay. I honestly, I think I'm secretly a 90s kid. I think I'm not. I'm a 2000s kid, but I feel like I'm secretly like really in like I grew up on all the 90s things compared to 2000s. Like I feel like I know nothing from the my 2000s era of my life. um but I want to switch over. I don't have topics. I do not have topics, but I think this last week has been so incredibly funny for The Flash. Because I don't know how many of you guys on here had seen it earlier in the week, but there was like this fake trailer that had came out about the Flash, and it fooled everyone. And I looked at it, I'm like, I don't know if this is real, but it does look like we have official a date for Superman, Lois, and Flash. Michael Giacchino has been cast in Daredevil Born Again. His character is described as an omnibus type. Huh. Interesting. I'm very excited for Born Again, guys. I think that's going to be such a cool series. I don't know, it's just such a worthwhile show, I think, for so many people, you know? Like, how many people waited for the show to happen? And now it's happening, and we're casting people. It's so cool. Oh, that fake trailer, that was funny. Yeah, we were supposed to get, according to them, we were supposed to get a trailer Wednesday. How great would that have been? A trailer without an official release date for the show. Yeah. So it seems like some people are dropping out. So I think we'll probably go for about 45 minutes today. Not funny in terms of a good joke, but just yeah, I even saw like people like Paige like made videos on it. I was shocked. I was like, oh, it's fooling people. Okay. Which it was a really good trailer. Like, it was a very convincing trailer. And what threw me off wasn't that, like, the way it was edited or anything. It was like, we've seen all these shots before, right? Like, and it wouldn't be the first time they, like, reused old shots to make a trailer. They used to do that all the time. But I think just the way it was, the shots they chose, and I think Bloodwork was a big, weird one for me, because they haven't even officially announced Bloodwork is in the season yet. Not officially, at least. I thought that one Ryan Wilder shot looked weird too. Like, would you put Ryan Wilder in the trailer? Maybe you would. I guess you did for season 8, but oh my goodness, man! What a strange week for just shows in general. How's anyone watching? I started it last night with Mom. I watched the movie and I watched 2 episodes. We watched Willow over the weekend. I enjoyed the show a lot more than I thought I would. Now again, like we talked about this a little bit ago, like the start of I'm watching things for the first time because I didn't grow up on them as a kid. I didn't watch franchises as a kid. I enjoyed Willow a lot. Willow isn't like a new show. It's from 1988, I think, or new movie, I should say. So the fact that they're diving back into the world on Disney, I think is just really fun. I think that's just like a really fun idea. And there's going to be so many people like me who are watching that show for the first time, really just experiencing a whole new genre of fantasy, you know? I think that's fun. I think it's a fun idea. My mom was a big fan of it. She, like when it was announced, she's like, oh, Willow's happening. That's interesting. So we watched it together. I really enjoyed it, though. Also, a highlight of my week was the Super Mario movie trailer. I thought that was just the coolest thing we've ever seen. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I'm not even like a massive Mario fan. Like, I like Mario, but like I didn't play it religiously as a kid or anything. I wasn't like I'm not like in love with Mario, but I do really like Mario, and I think that's a fun lore, and I think that's going to be a huge I think that's just a big franchise. I think that could be like your next MCU competitor almost. And I'm not saying that you need to make everything like a franchise, but you're going to want to franchise Mario. You already know there's going to be Mario Galaxy and, I don't know, Dr. Mario, and I don't know, like, you already know there's going to be Yoshi spin-offs and Donkey Kong like, that's a franchise. There's no way around it. You'd be dumb not to. I watched the new Santa Claus series with my little brother. It's not bad. I watched the first 2 episodes. There should be... Are there 4 episodes out now? There might be 4. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I'm like, this is really good. I'm going to binge it once it's done. I'm going to binge the show. I think maybe middle of December, I'll just sit down with the family, and we'll just watch the whole thing. Episodes 3 through... Is it 6? 7? I think it's 6 episodes. Yeah, I think there's 4 more. Going to watch the new Willow today. Enjoyed the original, but I was just a kid when that came out. Good to know that you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, the movie's pretty old, so you would hope that it gets better, right? Like, you would hope that things improve from the 80s or whatever, right? Like, and I think I enjoy it more. I think that they've been able to, like, kind of make what that movie was special and be like, all right, this is what this is. Let's work with that and move forward. In a very fun way. Alrighty, it's a Thursday. I didn't expect as many people to hop in today, but I do really appreciate everyone who popped in. I'm gonna probably go for another 5-6 minutes unless we get a huge surge of people in the next couple of minutes. But generally, I do hope everyone has had a great week. Continues to have a great rest of their week. I did watch Strange World. I know I don't have a lot of Disney people on here on the channel yet, but it was a movie. Strange World was a movie. It was fine. I wanted to like it more to what like I think this movie represents something really special. And I think it will going forward because it does things that a Disney movie has never done before that should be celebrated, but I wish there was more, Alrighty, I think we're gonna wrap up here. I think we're gonna we got something here. Hi, I'm a Disney guy. Yay! Good, because I love talking about Disney. I want to do more Disney stuff on the channel. I have some Disney related stuff I'm really excited to do at some point, I think. Cool. I think we're gonna wrap it up. We've been going for about 40 minutes. I had a lot of great fun talking to you. Hopefully next week we'll be back on Friday. I'm thinking, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend as well. That movie was not as bad as people said. I don't think it was bad in the least. I thought it was actually really good. Oh, I wouldn't say it's really good. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. It works. It's a perfectly fine movie. I think I just expect more from Disney. And I didn't love the vibe, I think. But it was good. I think it was fine. I think what it did, I think its like representation was really, really good. But I think next week, I have to ask around, but I might have some special guests on here. I might ask a couple people to come on, and I think I just want to talk about the entire show of Stargirl. Just the entire thing, the finale, the final season. Hopefully I can get a couple people to join me and hop on. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope everyone has a great week. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye.